I'm Jessica Lombard, Associate Superintendent.
And I'm Superintendent John Berkey, and this is Huntley 158 Today. Well, we have a table.
Dr. Berkey, we're in a new set. This is a new location, new school year.
Table. Well, you know, we are a couple weeks into the new school year, and I think it's gone really well so far. One of the big things from a student's perspective is it's a time of transition. And when you're in the same building, it's not a really big transition, but we have some times when it is a larger transition, when students go from 8th grade to high school, for example. But one of the other really big transitions is from 5th grade to 6th grade, because students are going from an environment where they're primarily with one teacher all day to the middle school where they have a number of teachers, they have a locker, a lot of exciting things.
Absolutely, and we have some of those 6th graders here with us today. I'd like to go ahead and introduce them. We have Sophie and Emilio and Kaylee and Hunter, so welcome.
Welcome.
We also have two other guests with us. We have Mr. Litchfield, the principal at Heineman, and Mrs. Johnson, one of our 6th grade teachers. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Mr. Litchfield, with the start of the school year, some of our 6th graders have actually had a little opportunity to be over at Heineman this summer with a Jumpstart program. Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Jumpstart this year was offered on 3 days before the start of the school year. And we had a record number of registrants at 115 students, represented about a third of our 6th grade class. And they worked with 5 teachers on components like opening a locker, making their way throughout the building, getting to know some of those other 6th graders and building relationships before they even knew which team they were on, 6-1 or 6-2.
We had 2 students here that participated in that?
That's correct. And what I noticed this year out of the transition was an air of confidence from those 115 students. Once they got their actual schedule and locker and they knew where they were going within the building, it has been a really positive transition for our 6th grade this year.
So, Mrs. Johnson, talk to us from the teacher perspective. So you teach 6th grade. What specifically do you teach?
I teach 6th grade literacy on Team 6-2.
Okay. So what do you experience with 6th graders in terms of what they need to help make the transition successful for them?
They are most nervous about their lockers, for certain, and they are most nervous about going from class to class. Supplies is a big issue. What do I bring to each class? How do I get to my exploratories? What if I can't get my locker open? What do I do in the lunch line? So there's a lot of nerves coming into 6th grade.
So can you tell us, you've now been in 6th grade for a couple weeks, what was the biggest change from Conley to Heineman?
In Conley, we didn't have lockers, they were cubbies, and so we had just one class. And then when we switched to Heineman, there was a bunch of classes, and we had lockers, and we just moved around. And then in all of our class breaks, we have a 3-minute break.
Now, are all of your classes all over the building, or are they kind of contained together so it's easier to get from place to place?
Well, 6-1 is in one section, then you have like the locker area, then 6-2 is in the other section, and then we have all our classes inside.
Now, Hunter, you were not here before. You are new to the district.
Yeah.
How did that change go for you this year?
It was pretty easy, but like it wasn't really that hard to like make new friends and stuff because all of the kids were pretty much new to Heineman because they either went from Conley or other schools, so it was pretty much new for everybody.
So it was a good time to make the transition to Huntley 158. So Kaylee, tell us about your transition, but I'd like to know, what is your favorite class so far this year in 6th grade?
My favorite class.
And remember, your literacy teacher is sitting behind
I'm
you.
right here.
Yeah.
My favorite class is literacy with Miss Johnson.
So what's next after literacy? What's your next favorite class?
Math.
Math, okay. And do you pretty much like all your classes?
Yes.
Good. No, you seem like you do. That's great. Are they harder so far than the 5th grade classes?
In my opinion, no.
Okay. It's been just a good progression from 5th grade?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Great.
Now, Emilio, you went through the Jumpstart, so you were there for those 3 days. Was there anything that you took away from that that made it a little bit easier to transition to that first day?
Probably the practice with the lockers, because on the first day I saw people struggling with their lockers and I kind of had to help them.
Oh, so you've got it down like that already.
Yeah.
Perfect. The rest of the classmates pretty good with their lockers?
Yeah.
We hear that all the time. That's like the hardest thing to do.
What do you think of lunch? Because lunch is different at the middle schools than it was at the elementaries. You have more choices. Tell me about that.
I think it's actually, I think it's better because at Conley you only had like 2 choices. At Heineman I think you have 4. So I think a bigger variety is better.
Good. Well, one of the things that's really exceptional about our middle schools is we have great extracurricular programs, and you have the opportunity to be involved, some in 6th grade, but even more when you get into 7th and 8th grade. Are any of you planning on being in any activities as the year goes on, or even next year when you're in 7th grade? Sophia?
I may be doing track and service club.
Excellent.
Great, and both those you can do in 6th grade, right? So that'll be something you can get started on right away. Any of the rest of you interested in doing something? Okay, Hunter, you're going to be interested in track as well? Good, that's great.
I think next year I might be doing track.
Okay.
And
Okay.
This year I have football and sometimes it's hard to do homework, so I
Right.
might join homework club. So
Homework club is a great way to get extra help as well. So, Kaylee, anything that you're going to be involved in?
I think when I'm in 8th grade, I might join cross country.
Excellent.
So a lot of runners, Mr. Litchfield. That's
We get a lot of track participants out, and I think that coincides with an overall comfortability with their school year. And then we see a lot of 6th graders come out in that spring sport, which is a non-cut sport, and get a chance to meet the 7th and 8th graders.
Now, I have a question, one last question for each of you. You've been in 6th grade now for 2 weeks, so you're experts. What advice do you have for 5th graders next year as they transition over to the middle school? So we will go ahead and start with you, Hunter.
Well, like, everyone's really nervous about, like, the locker changing and stuff because they're just scared that people are going to look at them and whatnot, but, like, it's really not scary at all. And just don't get worried about going to each class because the teachers are out there helping you for a while and helping you with, like, what class to go to.
Great advice. Kaylee?
Before I had the first day of school, I was nervous, and I was nervous about my locker and the combinations. But when I took Jumpstart, it helped me a lot and made me feel more comfortable about the new school. So I think that's been really helpful.
So if they can participate, they should try to participate in the
Yes.
Jumpstart? Great.
Amelia, what advice do you have for 5th graders?
I would probably have to say, like, some exploratories are upstairs, and they might not know which one if it's in 7th grade or 8th grade. Just know that, like, even if you go to the wrong one, you have time. 3 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but you have time to get to the other class.
And they'll get you to the teachers will help you get to the right, to the right place. So,
Yeah.
Sophia, 5th graders, advice.
A lot of 6th graders were scared of changing for PE, and it's not that scary when you get into, like, the first day and the second day, because, like, you're all the same and it doesn't really matter, and so it's not that scary. A lot of people just are scared.
They're worried.
Okay.
Good
Well, it
advice.
sounds like Heineman is off to a great start, and that these 6th graders we've talked to today, and probably almost all of our 6th graders have made a really good transition.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining
Well,
us.
thank you very much.
We got out of class a little bit, but thank you for joining us today on our show. And thank you for joining us at Huntley 158 today. If there are future guests you'd like seen on the show, topics discussed, please reach out to us at our Facebook page or Twitter, #Ask158. Until next time.